Hello, this is Andrew from Powerful Digital Solutions coming at you. And here I'm just going to give a general overview of the WordPress administrative dashboard area. And depending on what theme or plugins you might have in place, your display might look different from my display. And to access the administrative dashboard area, also referred to as the back-end area of your website, you'd have to go to the nameofyourwebsite.com / wp-login.php. So in this case, I'm working on a client website called joshuapicard.com. So we're logging in at joshuapicard.com / wp-login.php. And during the process of installing WordPress onto your domain, during that process, you would have already set up your username and password. But in my case, I'm already logged in. So after you enter your username and password, you'll then be taken to this screen here. Now, this may seem like a lot on the page, but like over half the stuff you can actually ignore. Yeah, you're not always going to use like everything here on the page. But I'm going to go and give you the key highlights of your administrative dashboard area. So right now we're in the dashboard section. This is kind of like the quote-unquote home page of the back-end area of your website. So yeah, it shows you what posts you have at a glance, how many pages you have, what version of WordPress you got going, and the current theme you have in place. If you don't know what a theme or a plugin is, just in a nutshell, the theme refers to the look and layout of your website, while the plugin, it's similar to the app on your cell phone. Just as you have apps for navigation or telling you the weather, likewise, we have plugins for cybersecurity, plugins for compressing images, and for many other functions. And then if there's ever an update available, like if either you have a theme that needs to be updated, or if you have plugins that need updating, or if WordPress comes out with a new version, then of course you would see that indicated here. This part, you'll probably spend most of your time in the dashboard area, the post, media, pages, appearance, plugins, settings, and then depending on your theme might have a tab of its own. So since we have the Divi theme, you might spend some in the Divi theme. And like some of these other plugins are, based on, some of these other tabs here are based on like some of the plugins we have in place and whatnot. Okay, so we went to our dashboard now. The post, these refer to your blog post. So if you're maintaining a blog, anytime you're going to publish a new post, of course, you would go to post and add new, then write the blog post and publish the blog post, and then all your published blog posts would appear here. And then for the media page, this is your media library. And yeah, this is where like all the images and all the files for your WordPress website are stored. Like you might be familiar with Gmail and how Gmail has this thing called Google Drive, where in Google Drive you can like store documents, store images, and store all sorts of other files online. So in a similar way, this media library, it's basically WordPress's version of a Google Drive. Like any photos, any videos, or any like PDF files you plan on using for your website, those would be stored here. And like if you ever had a new file to add to your media library, just a matter of clicking on add new, and then you can either drag and drop the file onto this dashed rectangle, or you can just select file and then choose a file from your computer. And then pages, this refers to the web pages for your WordPress website, whereas the posts refer to the individual posts for your blog. The pages refer to each web page of your website. And actually, we're going to visit the site in a new tab here. So in this case, so far we have like 3 pages indicated up here in the primary header menu, and then 3 pages indicated down here in the footer menu. So far we have a total of 7 web pages. And we have 3 here, we have 3 here, and then the 7th one is the home page. And we don't have a tab for that up here, but it's the 7th one. And then, yeah, whenever you want to add a new page, just matter of click Add New and just go through the process there. Or if you ever want to delete a web page, then yeah, just matter of click on the check mark, put it in the trash. And then the comments refers like to the blog comments. If you maintain an active blog, then you might spend some time in there. And then the projects, that's something unique to the Divi theme. And the Thursday affiliate plugins, that Thursday affiliates, that refers to a plugin we have in place, or cloaking affiliate links. And then here you might spend some time in appearance. So if you go to appearance themes, we can see the different themes we have in place. So in this case, we have the Divi theme active. And then this 2017, this is a default theme from WordPress. And then most themes give you the option to customize. And this customize button here corresponds to the, excuse me. Customize button here corresponds to the customize button here. So if we click on customize, then it'll give us a variety of different options for customizing the front end of the website. And by front end, I mean the part of your website that your visitors will see. So whereas the backend area is sort of the behind the scenes area, the part that only you would see. The front end is the part of your website that everybody sees. It's front stage, so to speak. And every theme's going to have its own options. So depending on what theme you have, you might see some different options here. Here. So like general settings, like the site identity, site title, the tagline. And we could always change like layout settings. So we could always change things like the default fonts for the website, the default font size, default font color, default background color. Yeah, that sort of thing we would do in the customize subtab of appearance. And like if you would have, like if we would have made some sort of change here, then we would have seen the option to publish. But since we didn't make any actual changes, I'm going to go into X out of here. I'll give it a moment. And then the widgets, this is for customizing your blog. So you can determine what you would like on your blog sidebar. And also for the footer area as well. So if you plan on maintaining an active blog, then you might spend some time here on the widgets. And in menus, for the most part, each website will have 2 main menus, a header menu and a footer menu. So here I'm going to click on header menu, click select. And we see 3 web pages here: about me, work with me, contact. So these 3 web pages here correspond to the 3 web pages up here, also referred to as the primary menu tabs up here. And then if we want to take a look at the footer menu, click on footer, go to select. We have terms of service, privacy policy, FTC disclosure. So these 3 web pages here correspond to the 3 web pages down here. Now let's suppose we wanted to add something to the footer menu. So let's suppose, we want to add a work with me to the footer menu. So we would start work with me. Oh, and then just a side note, the web pages you see here will be determined by, the pages you have published here. So any and all like pages you have published in here, they're going to appear here. Okay, so we checked work with me. We're going to add that to our footer menu. And after we add it to the footer menu, we're going to go to save menu. All right, so let's go to Joshua's home page. We're going to refresh the page. All right, so we've successfully added work with me to the footer. Now let's suppose we change our mind, don't want it there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to menu structure. We're going to go to click on the down arrow. And here we're going to click on remove. Remove that, save menu. Go back here, we're going to refresh the page, and boom, it's gone. And then the background and an editor, you're probably not going to spend that much time in. Like if you plan on doing any custom coding, like if you have some experience with like HTML, CSS, PHP, JavaScript, jQuery, any of those programming languages, then you might spend some time in the editor. But if we click here, WordPress will actually give us a warning message. Yeah, we'll give it a moment to load. All right, looks like it's still loading here. So yeah, as a general rule of thumb, you want to be very careful here. If there's any wrong moves, you can break your whole website. And it looks like my screen froze here. Page unresponsive. So, all right, I'm gonna pause the video for just a moment. All right, I am back. So yeah, unless you have any coding experience, then you're probably not going to spend too much time in this section of the appearance tab. All right, next we'll go and head on over to plugins. And in my ebook, Your Quick Guide to Website Success, on page 18, I actually give a list of plugins that I use for myself and my client websites. So like right here, we do have a plugin that generates content for the terms of service page and for the privacy policy page. And we do have a plugin that takes care of our Google Analytics. And then whenever someone signs up for one of my website care and maintenance packages, whenever I become someone's dedicated webmaster, I install my own plugin called the Powerful Digital Solutions Web Care plugin. And in a nutshell, this lets me give someone's website like my personal care, my personal attention. So like if your website becomes infected, heaven forbid, or if it's due for some updates, if it has some plugin updates, theme updates, or needs to be updated to the latest version of WordPress, if your website's slow and efficient, this plugin lets me track all that, and then I'm able to make some necessary tweaks, necessary adjustments. I'm able to work my magic, so to speak, when need be. And then there's the affiliates plugin for cloaking your affiliate links. And then a very common mistake I see in a lot of client websites whenever I become someone's webmaster is a very common mistake is to not have any sort of cybersecurity plugin in place. But in this case, I installed the WordPress security plugin for Joshua's website. Because whenever you don't have a cybersecurity plugin in place, that's kind of like leaving to go to work in the morning, but you're not going to lock your front door. And by not locking your front door, you make it very easy for bad guys to break into your home, whatnot. Likewise, whenever you don't have a cybersecurity plugin in place, then you make it very easy for hackers and other bad guys to break into your website and cause damage as well. And there are plenty of other cybersecurity plugins out there. Yeah, Security, iThemes, and a few others. And yeah, I do encourage you to do your own due diligence. But yeah, my personal preference, my personal recommendation would be the WordFence security plugin. Because in my opinion, they offer plenty for the free version. Oh, and then another mistake I see is a lot of people don't compress their images. And this WP Smush plugin, this will actually automatically compress any images you upload to your media library. Because as a general rule of thumb, by compressing your images, then your web pages will load faster. And if your web page is faster, then that ultimately creates a better user experience for your visitors. Because if your web pages take too long to load, then eventually your visitors are going to leave your website and probably not come back. So, all right, so that's plugins. And then the users and tools, you probably won't go there that much. And in the settings tab, like you see a number of subtabs here, but the two most common subtabs here are the general and permalinks. And you'll most likely ignore the other ones. So we'll go to the general subtab here. And here you could, yeah, write your site title, write your tagline. You could type in your website addresses. And then the membership, user default role, you can pretty much ignore these. And then the date format, time format, just, yeah, matter of personal preference. That's all that. And then we go to permalinks. Yeah, another common mistake I see on some client websites is like not having the right permalink setting. Yeah, as a general rule of thumb, you want to have the post name selected here. Because I think you'd agree that this like joshuapicard.com/sample post, I think that looks a lot better than something like joshuapicard.com/?p=123. I mean, that makes no sense. Because yeah, you want your website links to look pretty. So just in a nutshell, yeah, make sure you have the post name selected under your permalink settings. And then the optional, you're not really going to do anything here. And then by default, I do install the Divya theme on my client websites. And whenever someone invests in one of my website creation package deals, as part of that package deal, I install the Divi theme for free. Since I own a license from Elegant Themes that lets me install the Divi theme on a limited number of personal and client websites. So if you ever do invest in one of my website creation package deals, or maybe if you have the Divi theme yourself, then yeah, I like to give a tutorial on the Divi theme. And yeah, you'll see 5 subtabs, but the most common one, the one you'll spend your most time in, would be the theme options. Here. Alrighty, and then yeah, we have the different tabs here. And what's real nice about the Divi theme options is like, if you don't understand something, you can hover over it. You'll see a question mark. You can click on the question mark, and it'll actually explain the option in more detail. So right now, these would be the general options for Divi. So let's suppose you're wondering what minify and combine JavaScript files means. So yeah, click on the question mark. Use combine and minify JavaScript file to speed up your site's page load. So in a nutshell, without getting too technical, by minifying your JavaScript files and CSS files, that helps to like speed up web page performance, helps your website operate more efficiently. And if you'd like a more detailed technical explanation, yeah, feel free to contact me, and I'll be more happy to give you one. But just in a nutshell, you want to minify and combine your JavaScript files and CSS files so that your web pages will load faster. And then, yeah, I won't go through each and every tab here, but I do want to go to the integration tab because I've had some clients in the past ask me to install the Facebook pixel on their website, and the something like the Facebook pixel you want to install in the header section of your website, since it's something that helps to track behavior on a different number of your web pages. So let's suppose you want to install the Facebook pixel on your website and you have the Divi theme installed. So yeah, you go to Divi, theme options, integration, and add code to the head of your blogs. So the Facebook pixel would go here, since this is your header section. So, all right, and we'll go back to the dashboard up here. This is kind of the home page section of the back end of your website. So, like I said, just over 50% of the stuff you see here in the administrative area, you can pretty much disregard, ignore. And like I said, you'll probably spend most of your time near the dashboard area or the like checking for updates, publishing, modifying blog posts, maybe uploading images to your media library, or maybe adding or modifying your web pages. You might want to like customize certain aspects of your overall website to overall theme. And if you're maintaining an active blog, then you might mess with some of the widgets there. If you want to modify your header menu or footer menu, you might do that here. And then background editor, those are more advanced subtabs. And then plugins. Yeah, as a general rule of thumb, you want to like limit the number of plugins on your website, because the more plugins you have on your website, then the more resources your website's going to use, and then the more inefficient your website will become. So just make sure you're using the necessary plugins for your website. And then settings, went over the general sub tab, and then we went over what setting tab in the permalinks section. Then I briefly showed you the Divi theme options section. So I hope this was of value. Hope this was helpful to you. And in case you've been confused or intimidated by the WordPress administrative dashboard area, hopefully I've helped you at least minimize that confusion and or intimidation. And yeah, if you have any questions, if you'd like further explanation of anything here, just let me know.